Hello, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. You're welcome to this week's Forex Outlook with Great White FX for the 3rd of July to the 7th of July 2023. So without taking too much of our time, let's get down to what we have going into the new week. So as we can see, we have lots of high impact news. Lots of high impact news. We have rate news coming in on Thursday for the Aussie dollar, FOMC on Wednesday, then non-farm payroll on Thursday. No, non-farm payroll on this non-farm employment change on Thursday. Then on Friday, we have non-farm payroll. So this week is going to be very, very interesting for a lot of currency pairs. So that's out of the way. Let's get down to what we have going into the new week. So as always, we're going to start with the NASDAQ 100. So starting off with the NASDAQ 100, we can basically see that for now, this is still moving higher, but it's at areas of importance on the weekly time frame. So if I switch into my candles, and see that price is very close to this kind of like looks like a triple high. Let me put this here. It's looking like a triple high. It's looking like a triple high formation. It's looking like a triple high formation. That's if you look at this.
My NEPA struck. Great White, NEPA struck. I've been off. I just changed the internet source.
Okay, I've started review. Maybe later I would go back to that class with you.
Okay.
Let me finish the review, then maybe I'll go back to it with you.
Okay.
Okay, so just stay up for the review. So if we look at this candle formation is a bullish formation. Let me see if I can find it here. This is it. 1, 2, 3. This is a bullish formation. 1, 2, 3. This here. That's what we have here.
The pivot is not showing.
Pivot.
It's not showing now. Also, we just look for the swing low or swing high.
Yes. Yes. I'm doing review now. When I finish with review, I'll go back to that.
Okay, sorry.
So once this is a bullish move. So looking into the new week for NASDAQ, it's still going to run up higher. So what we'll be waiting for on NASDAQ 4-hour time frame, we have a break above this high here. So if we move into our candles, what we'll be waiting for is a retracement. We'll be waiting for a retracement. We have this imbalance here that's between this point to this point. Then if we use our fib from this low to this high, equilibrium comes in slightly here. This is where equilibrium is. And if you pick the midpoint of these two imbalance levels, that's from here to this point, you see that this is where the 50% is. So looking at this, you'll be waiting for price to do something like this, come back in here, give you something like this, then continue up probably to these equal highs going into the new week. So that's what we're looking for on NASDAQ. NASDAQ is bullish going into the new week. The next way we're going to look at is dollar index. Looking at the dollar index is the lower time frame is showing a bullish run. The lower time frame is showing a bullish run. Hello? Hello, can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. The lower time frame is on a bit. The lower time frame, let's go to the daily. Let's start off from the daily. This is the daily. We have a change in character here on the daily. Price has expanded. This is a retracement. Now, if we go into the 4-hour time frame, we can see it clearly. we can see that price is breaking to the highs. Now, if we go into the candles, this is where we have a bit of a challenge. We have this imbalance here. If we switch to our daily time frame, we're going to find out that this is a bearish order block. This entire zone here is a bearish order block. We have a bullish order block here. So we can see where price is at the moment now. So basically, what we might be expecting on this pair going into the new week, if we go down, say, to the 1 hour time frame, is price has already spiked this low, but it didn't close above it. So if this is to continue higher, you need to see something like this. Maybe it might rally, take out this low again, then create something like this, then continue up to the upside. But if it is to rally, it needs to go down first. So I'm looking at it probably coming down to fill this imbalance. Coming down to fill this imbalance. If we use our fib from this low to this high, we can see that price is sitting at the 62% of this range. So it might drop a bit before moving higher, but I can't see. I can't see until Monday. Monday will decide. But given the formation we have on this pair, on the 4 hour, it's likely that price may be going for 103.75 first. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is Euro USD. So looking at the Euro USD, if we look at this pair from the daily time frame, this is the formation we have on the daily time frame. From 1.1095 to 1.0635, this is a deep retracement. If we use our fib, from this high to this low, you can see that price got to 79% of the retracement. So if we put in our candles, we can see that there is a kind of a rejection from that area. Then if we go down now to our 4 hour time frame, we can see that price broke 108.44, and this is a retracement. So going into the new week, the question is, we expect this to still go down. So there is the possibility that this may rally up. And this fair value gap is a weekly fair value gap. Let me point it out. If we look at this fair value gap, 1, 2, 3, price has failed to close above it, and there's a rejection. So looking at that fair value gap, we drop to the 1 hour time frame or to the 4 hour time frame. Even if we look at this on the 1 hour time frame, on this pair, we can see that there's a bearish order block on the 1 hour. So I believe if this is to continue lower, they are going to sweep this high, then come into this place before moving lower. That is if it does not drop first, because if you look at it on the 1 hour, we seem to have a breaker. So this breaker will be confirmed if price comes down. If price does this, as if price comes down to this point, create something like this, then this breaker will hold, then it's going to continue up. But if given the formation, this may just sweep this high, something like this, then continue to the downside. So we just need to wait and see what the market gives to us. But I believe if they are going to go lower, they'll sweep this high into the structure point, then move lower first. So the next pair we're going to be looking at is the GBPUSD. The GBPUSD almost has the same formation, although the GBPUSD on the weekly is looking kind of like bullish. It's looking kind of like bullish. If we go into the daily time frame, we can see that this is still a retracement. If we pick this point to this point, that's this high, this dealing range high here to this point, we can see that price has not touched the equilibrium yet. So it's still in premium. I mean, if we look at this we can see that there is what looks like a bearish order block here. So price has gone in there and rejected. So with this information, if we drop down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that there's structure here. So if this is to continue lower, it would need to sweep maybe into any of these structure points and drop. But looking at this, we have something here. We have this, then something like this. This is not going to work. Let me use this. We have this low, we have this high, we have this, then something like this and this. So this is the situation we have on the GBPUSD. So this formation looks like a breaker. So it depends on what price does. If price should drop first, watch this structure point here to hold, then wait for something like this, then it will drop. But if the view we have of a continuation to the downside, I would expect this to first rally, sweep this high, sweep this point, this, then give us something like this, then move back to the downside. That's what we'll be expecting on GBPUSD going into the new week. So next one we're going to be looking at is gold. So looking at gold, order flow on this pair is still tilted to the downside for the time being. If we look at it from the weekly time frame, it's still tilted to the downside after taking buy side liquidity above these equal highs. You can see that price has been dropping. But if we use our fib from this low to this high, we can see that price is at the 62, is now in a discount area where we might be expecting a kind of a bullish move or a continuation if this move is to continue. But if we go into the monthly is not looking very good. The monthly is a bearish formation, a very, very bad bearish formation. We already have a swing high on the monthly. So what the weekly might be playing for is a lower swing high. What do I mean by lower swing high? The weekly might be trying to do something like this. That's this rally will create something like this and then continue to the downside. That's what the weekly might be trying to create with this correction now. So looking into the new week for the gold, let's go to the 4-hour time frame now. If we go into the 4-hour time frame, we seem to have a kind of formation that this might move higher, but that would
This is 1 hour, not 4 hours.
Sorry, 4-hour. Let me go for the formation. Sorry, the formation I want to show will not be clear on the 4-hour, so that's why I'm using the 1 hour. Sorry, the 1 hour. If we switch back to this, we can see this looks like it's waking up. We have this high made a new low, and then this high has been broken. And if we look back, this is almost the first time in a long time that apart from here, that this formation is taking place. So to confirm this bullish move going into the new week, we need to see a retracement that needs to hold. We need to see a retracement that needs to hold. There has to be a retracement. Or if they come out strong, maybe a rally above these highs. A rally above this high, then a close, a bullish close, then you wait for something like this, then a continuation. But looking at this, if this is to continue higher, it needs to drop first. And if it drops first, where will you be waiting for to get an opportunity? You have this imbalance here. You have this here. So either of these is supposed to hold as support for the retracement. As either of these is supposed to hold as support for the retracement, then a continuation to the upside if this up move is to continue. Because for now, I'm still very, very skeptical of a rally in gold. Because there's a possibility this may still drop, sweep this 1900 and still move higher. Or just fail from here and drop. So gold is not yet certain. But this formation is pointing to a plausible bullish move. Like those who trade candle patterns will tell you, this is the left shoulder, this is the head, this is the shoulder again, this is the head, this is a drop, this is the right shoulder. And if you use neckline, you have something like this. Sorry. So they will say that there is a head and shoulder formation on this gold 1 hour and the neckline has been broken. So what you would expect when you have a bullish head and shoulders is to wait for a retracement, confirmation, and a continuation back to the upside to confirm the bullish move on gold. So we just need to wait and see what happens, whichever price decides to do first. So the next one we're going to be looking at is EURGBP. Looking at EURGBP, let's look at this from the daily. Well, this is price broke this low here, 85.47. So this is your dealing range, 85.75 to 85.21. This is a corrective move. If we go into the candles, we can see that this is a corrective move. But if you look at it now from the 4-hour time frame, you find out that price is making new highs. There's a correction. So there's a possibility this may continue to the upside. If price does not take out any of these lows here, that's 85.35 or 85.16. As long as these lows hold, there's a possibility price may be coming for 87.09. As you can see, price is making new highs. This is if we see this formation on gold, note this type of formation now. Let's go back to gold chart because I know some of us trade gold here. You see why I'm a little bit skeptical on gold rally now. Gold does not have this on the 4-hour. It only has this on the 1 hour and it is not yet confirmed. So we need to see a retracement and then a break of this high like we have on the EURGBP. Like we have on the EURGBP. Let's go back to the EURGBP 4-hour. We need to see this formation now start to appear on the EURGBP 4-hour to confirm the continuation on gold, to confirm the continuation. So this pair may still rally as long as 85.24 holds, because the possibility exists that this pair may drop, sweep this low, create something like this, and continue to the upside. So, but for EURGBP, given the structure formation, it may still continue to the upside. But if we look at the candle formation, the candle formation is not so bullish. It has wicks to the upside. But if you notice, it was like that last week, but price didn't drop, price continues. So there's a possibility this may still try to rally up going into the new week. So the next way we're going to be looking at is GBPCHF. Looking at GBPCHF, if we look at it on the weekly, let me put this back. You can see that it's in a kind of a range. It's in a kind of a range. If we drop to the daily time frame, we can see that there's a break here. Then price is like in a retracement. It's currently in a retracement. If we go into the 4-hour time frame, you can see that price is still in that retracement. So if we put in our candles, then on the daily, there's a bullish order block here. There's a bullish order block here. No, not this. Sorry. On this, there's a bullish order block from this high to this point. And we can see that price has bounced off that point. So we now have a swing low on the daily time frame. We have a swing low on the daily time frame. So if we drop to our 4-hour time frame, what we'll be waiting for on the 4-hour time frame? Hello, can you guys still hear me?
Yes.
So for the GBP CHF, what you'll be waiting for is a retracement into this structure point here, and then a continuation. If that is to happen, your first target is going to be 1433, 1465 and 1506 if the move should continue higher. So that's it for GBPCHF. The next pair we're going to look at is the yen pair. So looking at the yen, we're going to start with, let me use the NIKKEI because I don't have the info on the other yen index, the indices, they are not that much. So if we look from the weekly, this pair is just basically bullish. I see that it's bullish. If we look at it on the daily, it seems to have made a swing at 34, 340.14. Seems to have made a swing high here. Then if we go down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have a swing. Yes, you can see this is what you could call a bullish head and shoulders, right head and then left head and right. You get, so price has broken. So looking at this yen in yen, that's the NIKKEI. The NIKKEI is inversely correlated to the yen in the sense that if this is bullish, yen will be going down. Once this starts to go down, the yen will start gaining strength. So we need to be aware of that. So looking at this now, this formation on the daily, on the 4-hour, is not very bullish for now. It's not very bullish for now. As long as this high here remains, this is not looking very bullish for now. So going into the new week, let me look at the daily. Let me see if I have any areas of importance here on the daily. Yes. We have what looks like a bearish order block. I have a bearish order block between this point to this point. Price is inside there. If we go down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that we have this whole set of 4-hour bearish order block. See, price rejected, price is coming back to it. So if price does not take out 33,794, if price does not take out 33,974, this may drop. And if this starts to drop, then if we go into the yen pairs, if we go to our yen pairs, that's GJ. If we look, all these pairs are still bullish. For now, they are all still very, very bullish. Very, very bullish for now. But let me go to my charts because you need to find the data where these pairs are now. There are some things I need to show on the higher time frame. So if we look at this on the monthly for the GBPJPY, there is a bearish order block. This last up candle before this move, that's where price is now at the moment. If we put in our information, we can see that price has touched the 50% of this candle's range. It touched it and rejected from it last week. So if we go down to the weekly time frame now, we can see that was where there was a rejection last week. We'll go down to the daily time frame. We can see that price has swept all this and dropped. So going into the new week, the possibility exists that this may drop. If you get a close below 182.49, then we have a breaker. What do I mean? If you see something like this, below this and this previous week's low, you're looking at a breaker. Even this low self, if we get a 4-hour close below it, you have a breaker. So any rally on this pair is going to most likely be sold off. If we go to the euro yen, the same way too. You go to the euro yen, let's go to the monthly, look at it from the monthly. If we look at the monthly, we can see that price has almost closed this big imbalance here. Price has almost closed this big imbalance here, just remaining a little. If we go down to the weekly, if we go down to the weekly, we can see that this weekly here, price is at the consequent encroachment of that weekly, is almost at that level there. So if we go down to the daily time frame, we can see that price has dropped, filled up this imbalance here, and has closed back above it. So that points to the fact that going into this new week, this may rally above 158. It may rally above 158. And if it gets rejected, that's if it does this above 158 and closes back below this low, then any rally on it will be an opportunity for a sell-off. But for now, they are still bullish until you get a reversal formation. So to be on the safe side, any dip on it, as long as the significant lows on the pairs are not broken, you should be looking for long opportunities. So any questions? Any questions? Okay, so in the absence of any questions, I think I'm going to end the recording so I can do what I need to do and post it up on the YouTube page for others to watch. Aja, that class, I would make our time in the evening. You get?
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
make our time in the evening, say around 9. I'll make our time in the evening so that we can all go through it together.
Okay.
Okay, so good day,
Thank you.
goodbye, everybody, and wish you all a beautiful and lovely Sunday ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.